Welcome back to another episode of Blender. So what we're going to do in this episode is create the climbing mechanism so that this robot can climb up on a bar. So what we're going to do is go ahead and add in a cube, and then we're just going to go into local view, and we're just going to press S and then Shift C to make this fin like this. And then what we're going to do here is actually have an array modifier, and I'm going to make it so that it is going to go out this way. So there we go. And what this array modifier basically does is we're going to just basically keep adding on. As you see here, you can use this to make fences, roof tiles. There's a lot of uses for the array modifier, but for now, I'm just going to make it so that it's going to go out in one direction like this, and I'm just going to bring this count to 3. So now they're all flush with each other, and I'm just going to go ahead and press apply. Now I want to move these individually, but that's going to be a little difficult if they're all just one object. I can't go into edit mode and just create keyframes and animate like that. That's just not efficient. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into edit mode real quick and press A, and we're going to press P and separate by loose parts. So what you see here is now they're all individual objects. I'm just going to keep all of this like here. So I'm going to parent this front one to the middle one. Let's go ahead and parent that, and the middle one to the back one. So I'm just going to parent that. So now they should all move like they're supposed to, and that's perfect. So next, what we're going to do is just go ahead and name this. I'm just going to name this lift. And we can grab all 3 of these and duplicate them as well. I'm just going to name this lift.r, and this is going to be lift.l, so we can tell this is the right side, this is the left side. So now I just need to rotate these. So this one's on the right, this one's on the left, that's correct. And then I just need to align them. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to put them right there for now, right by the battery. There we go. Trying to make them flush, but not so much that it's actually inside the vehicle or the robot. So I'm just going to scale them to the right height, and that's looking pretty good right there. So I'm just going to move that up, and there we go. And if we want to, we can take this right here, again, separate by loose parts. So now we have individual supports, and I'm just going to expand this one out because this one's going to have to be a little longer to support all of these. So actually what I'm going to do is I want these to always move in unison, and I don't want to have to select each one of them. So move this one up and then go over here and move this one up. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select the front two, and I'm going to press Ctrl J to join them so that they're one object. And the same with the middle. Now here's a problem we have. It's got messed up because of the parenting situation. So what we're going to have to do is basically take these 6 supports, and we're going to go to Parent, Clear, and Keep Transforms. So now they're no longer parented, and that is because we are going to need to be able to combine these objects and join them. So now I just went ahead, pressed Ctrl J on these two, and these two, and these two. So now we're just going to take this one, parent it to here, and then take this one and parent it to here. So you should see something like this, because this one is parented to this one, which is parented to this. which is now going to be parented to the chassis. So now it's going to move around. So we're just going to take these front two, and I'm going to add in 2 loop cuts. And then I'm just going to bring this here. So I'm going to have this, fill this, shift click on that to select both of them, and then fill, and then the exact same here. And then we're just going to move this one up here, and take this, and move that up there. And that's looking good like that. And then we're just going to go ahead and create a little hook. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in a cylinder, and we're going to go into its isolated view, and we're just going to scale it down like so, so that it's, you know, a nice little small cylinder, but tall, so skinny. And then we're just going to go here and make it so that the very top just barely touches here. And the reason of that is because we're going to be using the, I forget what it's called, the spin tool. So we're just going to push this off to the side, and we're going to use the spin tool here on this top face. And if you don't remember or don't know what this is, it's basically going to rotate this and while extruding it across a certain axis with this in the middle. So we're just going to select the y-axis. If you're on a different view like this, then you might have to select the x, but I'm just going to use the y just because. And we're just going to pull it out, and that looks good right here. And if this isn't high enough resolution for you, you can always push that up. I'm going to do it to 24, but if your computer can't handle that, then it'll be fine. So then I'm just going to exit out of spin and just go to box select and just select this bottom right here. I'm just going to pull it down, and that's it. And then we can, of course, shade smooth, quickly work on this here by inserting some stuff. We're going to have to control R and add a loop cut here, but we're not going to have to add it or insert a face there because that's actually going to be inside of this. So now we just bring it down and push it down like that, and that looks good. So then what we're going to do is just offset it, and what we're going to do is try 0.1. That's a good offset. Depends what you want, how far off to the side, and the reason why we're pushing it off to the side is because we want 2 of them. So I'm going to duplicate this one, and we moved it 0.1 to the right, so I'm going to move it by negative 0.2 to move it to the left 0.2, and I believe the unit is in meters. So yes, we pushed it 0.2 meters. So this might not be to scale, but it's okay. So we're not actually going to join these two because I'm worried if we do, it's going to create issues with the smooth shading. But we are going to go ahead and parent it here. And just like that, there we go. We have a working lift mechanism. And if you want, you actually could rotate these around. I'm just going to rotate them by apparently 18,900 degrees. I accidentally added an extra 0, but it's rotated correctly. I meant to just type in 180, but apparently that's weird. Let me just go in here and just make this 180 degrees instead of 18,900. Because I messed up, but that's okay, because you can't learn if you don't mess up. But yeah, that's basically, we have a robot, and it's being driven off of this chassis right here. So yeah, that's basically it for this one. Might want to move these a little forward, but this is looking pretty good. So this is all for this episode, and I will see you in the next one, where we will be making a system to grab balls, basically, to grab these inflatable balls that we will also be making. And yeah, that's all, so I'll see you in the next one.